What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy, Mr. Mike, and today we are doing the post-game show of the Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are going to look into and dissect the game and give you something that we feel we need to talk about. So let's start with CA Carl from CA3 Sports Talk. What's going on, Carl?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, you don't seem too happy here. TA from Noble Sports, what's going on, man?
What's up? What's going on, Mike? What's going on?
Hey, we got the W. And, of course, Luke G from Luke G's Field Review. What's going on, Luke G?
What it do, Lions Pride. Hey, get ready for a good show today, people.
Let's ramp it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, initial reactions to the game just right now. Just what you saw, Luke G. What's your initial reaction to this game?
I'm okay because we got the win, but we still have some problems in some areas, starting with the head coaching and the time management that needs to be fixed. We also have some problems with Stafford that needs to be addressed, and then we got some problems with the run game and special teams. It seems like every time they take one step forward, they take two steps backwards. So my initial response was we will win by 10, but I saw early on from this game that this is going to be a dogfight, which is why I said, hey, this is the tale of two tapes, the first half and the second half. And for me, the second half was going to be the deciding factor. And I thought this game would be won by offense. And believe it or not, that's exactly what it boiled down to. All three phases showed up for about a few quarters, and then one phase stayed alive for the entirety of the game, and that was the defense. It was so many things that was wrong with this game. This game should not have been close again, and people was wondering about the 7.5 point spread that they moved down to 4.5 before the game. They was all worried about it, but the fact is that 7.5 point spread is more of a reflection on our team. And what we saw today is more of the same, where they just can't close it out in championship team fashion.
All right. CA3, man, what do you think? What's your initial impressions of the game?
We played like garbage. I say that because I just didn't like how we played, man. We still weren't getting no pressure. The defense, we paid for this defensive line, they're not getting no pressure. I kind of liked how Mike Ford kind of stepped in for Darius Slay. It's just upsetting that we got lucky and got a kickoff return for a touchdown. That's the only reason why we won. That's just upsetting to me. And Stafford played like garbage. I'm sorry, Stafford played like garbage. He had a couple good drives, but that's it to me. Ugh.
And Tom Capone said, shout out to Stafford's feet. He kept the sacks away. He does have that spidey sense, and he can definitely get out of the pocket when he feels like it's time to get out and make sure he doesn't get hit. So absolutely, I'm with him there. TA, man, what's your initial thoughts?
Man, what another heart attack game, man. Crazy game. Like the fellas have said, we didn't play as well, and I do understand that, but there was definitely key moments in the game that you can take away from it. We got to get better, especially as far as the defensive line, man. The defensive line is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, man. I know we said that the defense could be a top 10 defense, but I think we might want to take those words back for right now until those guys can get some pressure, man. Where is Flowers at? I want to know. We're paying this guy a lot of money, and I just want to know, where's he at? And at the same time, you know what I'm saying, I got to give some love to Rashawn Melvin, who has been playing lights out and been playing and doing some, man, he's been doing some phenomenal things, man. But overall, man, Stafford he definitely has to get better with his accuracy, throwing the ball, and making sure that that he's doing what he needs to do to earn that paycheck, because a lot of fans are looking to Stafford to get to the next level. What's going to propel the Detroit Lions to the next level? And it has to be your quarterback play. We always say that the quarterback play is the number one thing on a football team. And if Matthew Stafford is not playing good, then we're not going anywhere. And this team is just going to be a mediocre team. So we got to make those corrections as far as being able to run the ball, because that's the goal that we had coming into the season that we wanted to run the ball, and we have not been able to do it. Let's just admit it. We have not been able to run the ball, and we have not been able to stop the run like we want to. So we got to get better and effective in those areas.
And D Legend says here the offensive line got to get some credit. Yeah, they they did a very well job protecting Matthew Stafford, and that's the number one goal of this offensive line: protect Matthew Stafford.
Pardon me for this, Mike, but I got to point this out. I'm sitting up here, and I know what he's talking about because I happened to dip into another stream for a second, and I wanted to see what was going on. And the first thing that person said in that stream was, if we lose this game, it's on the offensive line, and I'm blaming it on Bob Quinn because Bob Quinn should have fixed the offensive line. And I'm like, wait a minute, what game are you watching? And then people hear that, and they repeat it. You go and look at this game and go and look at the game before. You're not going to tell me that this is an offensive line issue. The offensive line gave the quarterback time. The quarterback needed to do his job and work on the mechanics and deliver the ball accordingly. So this whole idea that the offensive line was terrible this game is hot trash. That's not going to be accepted, at least not by me, because when I watch this game, I'm telling you that majority of the time the pocket was clean for the quarterback. Now, granted, they not doing good in run blocking, but run blocking is a mindset. Teams who come out and run block, they spend a lot of money getting a bunch of run blocking linemen to do it. It's a mindset. We are still fighting that mindset. But please don't come in here and say anything about the offensive line. That is a lie. Whoever you listen to don't know what the hell they talking about, and it's just not true.
Yeah, that's definitely not an impression I took away. I thought the offensive line did a great job, in my opinion. I mean, this is 2 weeks now that Stafford is not getting hurt, and that's a good thing. Detroit Drew, initial impressions of the game.
I'm going to need some heartache medicine, man. I can't take much more of this, man. They should have won this game by at least 10, 14 points easily. I don't know why they think they didn't make every single game an excitement one. They just couldn't execute when they needed to. Bad penalties defensively, whether they're good calls or not, made them more tired. People are getting dehydrated. I couldn't tell if Darius Slay got hurt, whether he pulled a hamstring or if he just got cramps because he got dehydrated.
Injury.
Matthew Stafford did not play his best games, missed several key throws. I'm not sure what we were doing to milk the clock out. We're passing it instead of running the ball and making the clock continue, making Philadelphia burn timeouts. That could have cost us. If we play the way we played today against Kansas City, it is not going to be a close game. This team needs to get better. It needs to execute better. We have not played the way we should be playing right now.
And I'm going to piggyback on something here. And I know there's a lot of negative shade being thrown right now. I'm going to be Mr. Positive. We play to the competition of the teams that we play against, whether it be a bad team or a good team. No matter what's taking place, we got wins, man. And at 2-0-1 is a lot better prediction I thought they would be after watching the Arizona game. And I'm happy we got the win. There's a positive here. Special teams with Jamal Agnew. He took one back. He corrected his mistake. Whatever was in his head over the last couple of games, I say thank you for getting it out of your head and doing a much better job. Much better job. The offensive line did a great job, in my opinion. Again, keeping Stafford clean. That's the number one goal. Obviously, they need to open up the holes better. But in my opinion, no matter what, Stafford being clean is the absolute number one goal. And when it comes to the defensive line, they were giving up a lot. I don't know what's taking place. I feel like they need to do better. They're underperforming. But let's give some credit to Rashawn Melvin. He played absolute lights out. And this guy is becoming one of the best pickups in the offseason so far.
Yes.
Rashawn Melvin has been an absolute stud at cornerback, and you just can't go his way. He is beating you every single time. Every single time.
And Mike, just to piggyback off that a little bit, Rashawn Melvin, I know we talked about him in the you know what I'm saying, we talked about him in the offseason and when we picked him up, and just saying Melvin, he definitely could be a good player for us. And some of us, you know, felt like, no, he's not going to be all that. And the dude is playing lights out. He's playing better than the 4 years.
Some of us, me.
The four. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, you didn't, Luke.
Me.
You. Yeah,
I remember Luke. I remember Luke didn't like that.
Hold on, let me finish my thought, though.
Hold on,
it took Detroit's on Big Will to convince me otherwise.
No, I'm just
saying
this.
One at a time, folks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying this. I'm just saying that Rashawn Melvin has been playing way better than Nevin Lawson have in his years that he given us. And Melvin's only been with us a couple games, so I got to give credit to Rashawn Melvin for playing good and being that extra help to Darius Slay out there.
As well as what D. Legend and Marcus Willis says, Coleman did great as well. And Mike Ford coming out of nowhere, doing well. He stayed with his wide receiver. He turned his head. These are the imperative things that's vital to be a good cornerback, because if you don't turn your head, you're going to get that pass interference. Interference for sure. Luke G., I want to talk to you about the referees and the flags. What do you have to say about what took place in this game?
I think the referees as a whole has been what they always going to be. And at the end of the day, I will say this. They called a very horrible penalty on Davis. Excuse me. That hit was clean. If he doesn't make that hit, that defender stays in. So that Davis penalty was bad, but that wasn't as bad as the no call of Miles Killebrew ripping my man's head backwards. I mean, and we get the benefit of that call. Were there some bad calls in this game all around? Absolutely. Were a few of those push-off calls suspect? Some of them was. I mean, it wasn't enough push-off in my opinion. But guess what? At the end of the game, they got it right because Darren Sproles did exactly what I thought he was going to do, and he did. He pushed off. So they, for me, the referees wasn't a factor in this game. This was more about each team handling business on the field themselves and not relying on the referees. For me, I'm not big on trying to blame the referee for this game. This is more about clock management and the quarterback. Mm-hmm. I said it last week with the Chargers game, and I took a lot of heat for it because I was honest. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest again this week.
That's right.
You can go through and look at the first quarter. He had a wide open Marvin Jones, and he threw it, and Marvin Jones had to fall to catch it. The pass that came next that he threw to Kenny Galladay was behind Kenny Galladay, and thank God Galladay noticed it, turned around, and snatched it in for the catch. Outside of that, he just didn't play well. He's got to be better, and he's our most valuable player.
Tone Capone breaks up a good point as well. Is it looks like Patricia had a solid game plan for this game. In my opinion, he made one mistake about doing the penalty where he lost a timeout. But other than that, I felt like the clock management and the time management was much better than the last two games. How do you think Patricia did, Detroit Drew?
I mean, I don't like the pass interference call there.
Yes,
for one, Stafford shouldn't have thrown that ball. I don't know what Stafford was thinking, but that's not a defensive penalty at all. So to waste the timeout, that could have cost you. But I think he did better. He didn't waste too many timeouts. But, challenging is always a risky thing because when you lose that timeout, you never know where you're going to have to lose it. I don't know, man. I'm not so sure if I'm bought in on this team or not. I'm not sure if they're making the right plays to win.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I can tell you this, Drew. I can tell you this. The reason Stafford threw that ball was he was trying to draw the pass interference penalty. It just wasn't the right ball for it to draw it. And also the other part of that equation is the receiver never fought back towards the ball. Right. If Danny Amendola fought back towards the ball, they would have called the flag. So Stafford threw it up in hope that they would call the pass interference. And it's just another bad pass because not only was he not on the same page with his receiver, the receiver refused to fight back for it. And I personally thought that it wasn't a pass interference because the receiver didn't fight back for it.
Here's my thing, though. If you're going to do that play, why are you doing that with Danny Amendola, who's barely 6 foot tall? Why don't you do that with Marvin Jones or Kenny Galladay, who have a better shot of fighting for the ball and drawing contact?
They play outside coverage on him, so there was no way for him to get the ball there based on where he was at. He was trying to get it on the matchup where the linebacker matched up with the receiver. That's why he didn't throw it to the outside. They was trying to blanket that. And on top of it, T.J. Hockenson had a crucial drop that should have been big, and he had another mistake where he ran out of bounds and came back in. That's rookie mistakes that you can overlook because it's rookie, but those are two scores that should have been on the board as well. So I think when you go back and you look at the decision to throw it there, yeah, I mean, you definitely want to throw it to a receiver versus a linebacker. But in this case, the receiver needs to fight back towards the ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I get it though, but you're up 10 though at that point in time. That's a terrible risk. Like if they
Oh,
get
trust me,
that
the
pick,
risk is horrible. The
I
risk
don't
is
like it.
horrible, but I understand what his attempt was.
I think the biggest risk was the Eagles going for it on 4th down and 8. Man, that shocked me. That took a lot of guts there. I just couldn't believe it. And, the defense got beat up a lot in this game, but the last couple of drives, I don't know what went into them, but they were stout. They were
Yeah.
stout. TA, what happened? What do you think took place?
I just think that the defense they kind of learned from their errors in the game against Arizona, so they had to pick it up. I mean, I know that they was probably they're very frantic out there about trying to get the win, and they capitalized this time, because the biggest thing is that we have not learned how to close out football games, and the Detroit Lions this time stepped up to the plate and was able to make the plays when they needed to make the plays, and the defense came through for us. So we got to give our hats off to them for stepping up and not allowing this game to be a tie again, because we did not need that.
Yeah, that was my fear, getting that tie. Like, come on. The only tie I like is Ty Johnson. I don't want to see any more ties. I don't want to see overtime. CA3, that last drive, was your heart pounding like mine? Because I was going crazy.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily going crazy like my dad was, but I was just sitting there. I was like, what are y'all gonna do? Like, I was just like, I'm just glad our defense was. I'm just glad Rashawn Melvin and Mike Ford stepped up, so I can't complain.
Yeah, Rashawn Melvin is he's been such a great player for us. I can't. It's unbelievable.
It is. It really is.
Oh man, and he's done a great job. I love it. Hopefully, the injury when it comes to Darius Slay is not too big, and hopefully he can recover, because we're going to need him for Kansas City. Luke G, what are some positive things you saw in this game?
Oh man, first of all, let's start off. The positives was pretty good. I know that we talked about some of the negatives off the back, but I felt that there was more positives in this game than negatives. One of the biggest positives was, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we scored on the opening drive.
Yes,
and not just any drive, a drive that took 10 plays. That's a heck of a thing to do.
Yeah, that's a great
and then on top of that, the defensive line, in my opinion, they started out pretty well. They came out putting pressure, making the pocket collapse, and getting the quarterback to move around. I thought they did a phenomenal job. They made sure that they took away his best weapon, and Zach Ertz. That was a phenomenal job. And the one thing that I fell in love with, I know that there were some frustrations with people when Nelson Aguilar scored that touchdown to make it 17-20. But if you watch what the defender was doing, he was going for a strip. And the one thing I noticed with this team versus all the past team is this team wants the ball. They are constantly swiping at the ball, hitting at the ball, and they are generating turnovers. They're not the prettiest turnovers neither. They're not always fumbles and interceptions, but they're finding ways to get that ball away from the defenders with breakup passes and things like that. I thought that was a huge one. And the number one thing that I noticed is the play calling is progressively getting better and better. Darrell Bevel is dialing up some stuff that I'm like, I would have never. That reverse,
yeah,
Lord Jesus.
I was just about to say that.
That was sick. That was a sick play. I didn't expect it. I loved it. But there's a couple plays that really got underneath my skin, and that's these wide receiver screens. Man, can they go ahead and throw that one in the trash? I am tired of seeing that play.
Man,
well,
people,
you know what was more shocking to me than that wide receiver screen?
What's
the
that?
the lack of use of Ty Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that we didn't use him more, and I'm surprised we didn't call any regular screens. But overall, on the road against a depleted team, they pretty much did the same thing they did in the Cardinals game. They just closed it out.
They closed you up.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I've always said this in the offseason. I would rather win a game ugly than lose a game with great stats from Matthew Stafford. I'm happy right now because we got a W. We have not lost yet, folks.
Yeah, and that's
3 games in the year, and we don't got an L. That doesn't happen a whole lot with Detroit. And of course, they're not going to talk about us, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. But we got the W. W. Bawden. Oh yeah. Okay. So Wesley brings up Bawden. What was Bodden, man, he get the ball and he does that jump. What'd you guys think of that play? That was awesome and hilarious at the same time.
I hate it. I hated it. I hated it.
Well, you know,
Listen, this is my thing. This is my thing. He jumped over. As soon as he jumped over, his feet hit the ground. He was stopped dead in his tracks. If you're gonna jump over and make a move afterwards, a spin, a stiff firm, lower your shoulder. He jumped over and stopped dead in his tracks. I get it. I think that was cool for what it was needed for. But, you know, I don't want to see that too often. I don't want that to become the norm. It makes me nervous. We need our fullback. We're still trying to establish the run. I'm not a fan of the whole let me jump over. That was okay. The play that went to what is his name? Jesus. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. I always botch his name and J-Mo corrected.
McKissick.
McKissick. Thank you.
Yeah,
The play that went to him. I'm like, if you just even the commentator noticed it, just stay outside, buddy. You're gonna score.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I was like he dancing too much. He need to go. My dad was like, oh, but it was a good run. I was like, nah, he could have had a touchdown if he didn't dance so much.
Yeah. Which brings me to another good point about all the people that I had who were saying things like, yeah, we should pick up Miles Sanders, and I was like, he danced in the backfield too much, and nobody wanted to believe it.
Mm-hmm. And you saw that today.
Yep.
And we're going through our tough schedule right now, and we're getting the wins. That makes me smile, man. We got a tough one this week coming, but we went on the road and we beat an Eagles team that they wanted it bad. I mean, like they're going against the Cowboys in their division, and we got the W, and I'm extremely happy about that. Whether it be a sloppier game or anything else, but now we got 2 Luke G's in here, and okay, now we're back to 1 Luke G. So what was some plays or individuals on the team that you thought underperformed? Let's go Detroit Drew. Yep. Okay, TA, what about you?
Well, I'm still going to stick to Flowers. I think that Flowers just needs to get more pressure. He played a little bit better, but I still just think that, for the money that he's getting, he definitely has to play a little bit better. And I think that he will. I think he's still trying to find his chemistry with this team. They still trying to build that chemistry together because, we got to remember in the offseason, I believe, wasn't he out a lot? He didn't even he didn't play a lot like in the training camps and stuff like that. So by him not playing, he's still trying to build that chemistry with the ball club. And I want to see him get some more pressures, man, and get to the quarterback, man. I want to see the defensive line get a better. My biggest thing is the defensive line getting better. I know that we talked about the defensive line and the defense probably being a top 10 defense, but I think I might want to swallow my words right now on that and just pull back for a minute until these guys build some chemistry together, because I think that that's the number one thing is that on that defensive line, they gotta get chemistry, because you really haven't heard anything from Romeo as well either. Not as much, but at the same time, I think that they will get better as the season progresses. But I really want to see Flowers start playing for that paycheck that we're giving him, man. I'm looking at Flowers right now on that defensive line.
That defensive line is very much underperforming, in my opinion, and it's frustrating because they put a lot of individuals on the line. They put a lot of money on there, and they're just not getting to the quarterback.
I mean, listen, it's a lot of things that's not getting home, especially like our likes. We got 143 people in the chat, and we got 32 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down. Shout out to the 2 thumbs down. Make sure you get those likes, people. Whether you do it on your way in and out, get those likes up. That helps this video circulate, and it supports the DSA, and it supports Micro Mike, who literally just did double the time by doing pregame live play-by-play commentary, and now he's hosting the post game. So let's give him some love and some support and get those numbers up, people.
Yeah, much appreciated. Much appreciated to the thumbs down individuals as well. I appreciate you that you're watching my stream, and that makes me smile for sure. CA3, what is an individual or a specific play that took place that frustrated you, or you thought was they need to perform better, or this play needs to get scrapped? What is it?
It's got to be I was upset with. I felt like at times we failed to wrap up, and that kind of irritated me
Yes.
a lot. That irritated me a lot.
You know, Diggs just, I don't know what's up. I love his power hitting, but he's got to use his arms and wrap up. That was frustrating to watch because he's my favorite player, man. He's got to do a better job when it comes to wrapping up and doing that to help this defense out. You don't wrap up, you're not gonna win a lot, man. Luke G, what is something for you that you felt that could get better?
It's run blocking. We need to be able to establish the run. The scary part about it is, in all these games, we have not been able to establish the run, but we have a running back that still puts enough fear in people. So when they do run the ball, you see them stacking the box. And on top of that, you're noticing that there's a difference in the way teams are playing this. Because there was a few times where Philly came out and spread them out, and the Lions stacked the box and understood that they don't have a pass game. Take away Zach Ertz, and it's bad. So I want to see us get that run blocking down pat. We got to get that established because that run blocking will allow for our running backs to get open lanes. They didn't give nobody no chance. Carry-on got to make 2 or 3 people miss in the backfield. Ty Johnson, few carries. He had to make a person miss. We need to have more bigger lanes. And we need to be better at run blocking.
Absolutely. And yes, I did make a promise about dropping some bars when I got to 1,000 subs. And I am at 1,000 subs. My voice is a little off right now, but I can give it a try right now if you want to hear some bars.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got listen, let me get myself together for this. Yeah. Get my popcorn and my tea ready. You good?
Yeah, my voice is a little raspy though.
Okay, Mike, hold on, Mike.
Drink a little something, Mike. Drink a little something.
Hey, Mike, if you give him some bars, I'll give him some bars.
Okay.
Oh my God, hold on. Let me get myself together. I'm get my pen out.
Okay.
I'm not critiquing you. I'm merely just saying.
Okay, it's MK coming your way, so don't play with me, because I lift weights every day. I'm built like Trey, scary as scarecrow, short haired, long, like it just got mowed, big chode cock swole. Oh no, don't challenge me, bro. You must be on crack, though, about to get the slap, yo, or tackle, yo. A rap about you on those tracks, yo, jealous because I have my chrome, my car, then hosting the, oh, no. I have cash flow. I'm shitting Benjamins out my asshole. I wipe it with a 24 diamond carrot toilet roll. Call me a punk ass rap with no show. I'll show you flow, give it 9 and put you in a bullet hole, and have my boy Jay bury you in the dirt flow. So let's flow. I'm running in the 424. I'm packed like a gun show. Card lows, pimp with hoes. Fuck with me and you'll see me. I'll let your ass up like a Christmas tree.
I wasn't ready, man. I wasn't ready, people.
Bars.
I wasn't ready, people.
I came back to the perfect timing. That was awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna give him. Okay, Mike, I said I would if you gave him some bars, I would give him some
Bars.
bars. Okay,
Bars.
Okay. Hella tight is my flow, fly jewels is my style. Is I from the east, my friend, coasted, keeping it real. Pockets bodacious, got women across the nation. Until I find one, I guess I'll be a bachelor. Mike Snatcher, I'll flip you like a spatula. The greatest in the world, you know it's gotta be me. Like the Thriller in Manila, I'm Muhammad Ali, the champion of MCing. Your flow is European. I get psycho like a crazy Korean.
Love it, man.
And that was not a racist bar there, just for anybody. I want y'all to understand he was not a racist.
Hey, it's definitely a sports channel, but I did make a promise.
Hey,
so we will
first of all,
definitely,
man, clap it up for them, people. Put them clapping hands in there. Let's hear it for Micro Mike and for Nova Sports Entertainment TA for living up to their promise to give you bars, baby. And I gotta get my best Funk Master Flex voice going on. Where's the DJ? Drop the beat, boom. Yeah, feel me? Now I gotta rap. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
We ready?
Jingle bell, rock. Yeah, jingle bell singing. Okay, that's it. I mean, you only get half a bar. What y'all thought this was?
Hey, man, that's better bars than what I brought.
Hey, Sweatbread said this is Alliance victory bars.
Hey,
Bars,
shout out, they
baby.
said shout out to you. Yeah, thanks, man. We appreciate it.
And
Absolutely.
another thing that I really really was nice to see his special teams did a lot better job this game than the prior couple games, even though we got that block at the end. But again, with Jamal Agnew returning that thing for a touchdown and stopping, we were stopping their players for not gaining a whole lot of run and lack of penalties. And so I was very excited to see that them square up a little bit. Obviously, they still got more work to do, but Noble, what do you think about the special teams? Do you think Agnew definitely earned his spot to from that fumble he did?
Man, yeah, definitely, man. Shout out to Jamal Agnew, man, for you know what I'm saying, redeeming himself. We was down on him for the last past couple weeks, and he redeemed himself, man, and that's what he needed. He needed that confidence builder back in. Today was a confidence builder for Agnew. He needed that, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people was ragging on him. I know he was hearing it in the Twitter feeds and stuff like that, and people wanted him literally off the team, like gone, because he was muffing a couple balls. But it's the game of football, and we have to realize that players are going to make mistakes, and sometimes their head is not going to be in the game all the time. And I think that this week he came back with confidence. See, all you had to do was just bench the guy, and look how his confidence shot right back through the roof. And he gives you 100-yard kick return on today. So shout out to Jamal Agnew, man, for going out there and redeeming himself and going out there and playing some good football today.
Absolutely. Tone Capone's a shout out to the people that believed in him. I lost my belief, but I didn't. I'm very happy that he did well. Luke, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, like I said, and I think I did it on a number of different shows where I talked about, all this riffraff of people saying, oh, well, they got rid of CJ. Why is Agnew still on this team? And I made it clear, the special teams as a whole was bad. It wasn't just Agnew. The special teams as a whole was absolutely horrible. And you saw today another block field goal. I mean, this stuff is happening way too often. They finally got a few blocks. They was able to put the ball on the 1-yard line a few times and get them bad field position. And then, they managed to cut down on the penalties. I give them that. But for the most part, you can't cut Jamal Agnew when everybody else as a whole was terrible. In this case, they stepped up in the first quarter. I don't know what happened after that. They kind of went downhill. So to me, Agnew was always going to be a person that you have to look for to say, okay, was it really him or was it something else? It was a whole unit as a whole that let that whole thing down where he wasn't getting no room to run. When they gave him a little room, he did his thing.
Absolutely. And look, the special teams as a whole was bad. You're 100% correct on there. And it got better. It did get better. They still have mistakes, but just needs to go and continue to improve from game to game and going forward. I want to give a huge shout out to Marvin Jones Jr. He made some clutch catches in that game, big time third down plays. I felt like he was on fire today. What do you think about that, TA?
Man, yeah, I definitely think that Marvin, man, sometimes Marvin goes overlooked sometime, and we don't, really give him the props or the credit. But today, I think Marvin stepped up where we needed him, especially when I think right before that, TJ Hawkinson ends up dropping a touchdown pass. And I just think that I don't know what's going on with TJ hands right now, but he'll get better. But definitely, man, Marvin stepped up in a crucial way for us today, and we needed that, man, from him.
Absolutely. You need to have that clutch ability. He showed it today. He was Captain Clutch and catching everything and making sure that we kept moving forward on offense. And it was very nice to see. I know a lot of people wanted him traded, and I thought that would be a real stupid mistake. And he's showing it right now that, yes, getting rid of Marvin Jones would be a dumb mistake. CA3, what do you think about Marvin Jones? What do you saw? And give me your thoughts.
He made very impressive catches. I like how he played well. I mean, Stafford made some bad passes, and he bailed him out. He bailed Stafford out a lot, and he made that great touchdown catch too. He's had a really good game. I like how he played.
Yeah, and Danny Amendola made a clutch catch at the end of the game by Brian Ellis. Man, there's a lot of clutch plays being made, and I like it. I know that the New Black Legion says Stafford was not very accurate today. I agree. He was off. His accuracy was off, and he had time in the pocket. He had a lot of time in the pocket. There's no excuse about that. And He needs to get better. Absolutely. What's going on with this run game, folks? Man, it just felt like we cannot get the run game going. Luke G, man, what do you think about this run game? What's taking place to why we cannot get this thing going?
It hasn't been in our pedigree for years. When we had Barry Sanders, they did everything in their power to make sure Barry can run. Mm-hmm. Now we got Kerryon, and they did everything in their power to have a balanced offense. And so you're not going to see it in the pedigree just yet. They're still learning what it takes to be committed to run that ball. And the commitment has been there. It's been there for the most part. Where it has been lacking is at the point of it just being like good technique. They haven't had the perfect technique to run block. And it's a shame because you would think that they would have put more energy into run blocking, but they didn't. They went with a more righteous approach, I should say, than you would think. I mean, if you just do the tale of the two halves and just simply look at the first half when it came to rushing, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles had 84 yards to our 69. You know,
giggity.
Huh?
Giggity.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then you figure on the passing part, they had 144 yards to our 83. So, you know, you look at it in terms of total yards, Philly had 228 yards to our 152, but we did not commit to the run.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it is teams know how good Kerryon is because he's making people miss in the backfield, and he has no room to run. So other teams are stacking up already to take the run game away from us. We're not really getting a fair shot to do it. That's why we're passing the ball so much because it's what the defense is giving us.
Right. And the sad part about it is when they do come out in a run formation, the defense is still not buying the hype until the run actually happens. And then when they see that we are trying to run the ball, they come up. Our quarterback needs to hit them over the top, and he had a struggling day today. I already know that some Stafford fans is going to come at me, but I'm not going to make a video about this game because I'm pretty sure everybody saw it. I think last game wasn't so clear, but I've been very honest about it, that even the touchdown catch that Marvin Jones had was more of Marvin Jones making the catch than Stafford. So,
yeah, Stafford looked like Peyton Manning throwing some ducks out there.
Yeah. And them ducks were getting. I feel like every time Stafford threw the ball, that dog popped up and started laughing. You know what I'm talking about from the duck hunt?
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
I thought you was going to say
the dog came up last night and went back down.
I thought you was going to say Affleck.
No, man, no. This was duck hunt because he was dropping some passes. I'm like, man, you got to put that a little bit better. And even the pass that he threw to the pass that he threw to Kenny Galladay, I'm like, you threw him out of bounds. And I kept telling people that you gotta get a guy a chance to make a clean catch to turn. He threw him out.
Melvin Drew says, I think you're all failing to mention we played against a strong defensive front. Graham and Fletcher are beasts, and we ran okay against them. They are definitely beasts. They have and that's why I really like what I saw from the offensive line holding up Matthew Stafford. Again, another good performance by them. We didn't get the production out of the run game as well because they are a good defensive line, but they can get better. But great job by the offensive line and pass protection specifically. That's my number one goal, man. You got to keep Stafford upright. And I think there's no sacks again, so that's 2 weeks in a row. And Stafford and his feet has been getting it done with his spidey sense to get out of the pocket when need be. I'm very happy with what's taking place here. Oh, I just seen that JMO got in. What up, Doe 313 JMO? Yep. That is some real insight. It sound like the Coneheads. Original language right there.
Hey, it doesn't be nobody eating lettuce earlier, man. That was funny.
Listen, I swear, I thought somebody had got them a head of iceberg lettuce and just said, "Forget it, we gonna eat this on film." I'm like, what is that?
And Sweet Bread says, and we beat 2 playoff teams. Look, anytime you can get a win on the road against a good team, doesn't matter, man. It's a win. It's a big deal. It's hard to get,
next week.
It's really hard to get W's. Very hard.
If you just take it into this, if you take this standpoint right here, which was brought up by Hands Therapeutic Massage, where This is going to be the toughest part of your schedule, and you getting the wins now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
On the road against
On the
a
road.
team that needed it bad. So I'm very satisfied with the W. There's always things to correct, even if you win by blowout. There's always things to correct, but I'm very, very happy that we got the W, and that's the biggest point. Secondary minus Darby was actually watchable per Jay Smooth. Crunch, crunch, crunch goes the lettuce.
Yep.
Yeah. And listen, Mike, it's funny that Jay Smooth say that because he was the person that I said that we should pick on. I'm like, man, that dude's like 5'8". You know, our receivers are 6'2" and up. We should be able to win that matchup, and they did. So kudos to them for being able to recognize that matchup and expose it.
Absolutely. And Joshua Zook says Lions are better than the University of Michigan.
Everybody's better than the University of Michigan. I mean,
I don't want to talk about that right now.
I know TA and 313 JMO definitely does not want to talk about that.
We got the same record. We got the same record as state.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I gotta hear these Michigan fans talking, blame the quarterback like it ain't the head coach putting them out there every step of the way.
Ooh, it's looking bad, man. It's looking bad right now. Shea Patterson is not looking good.
Listen, when's the last time you heard of a quarterback guru not developing a quarterback?
Right, and not knowing who he's gonna put out there.
Well, let's talk about Jared Davis. This was his first game this year. How do you think he performed, Luke G?
Oh, I loved it. The penalty I thought was a beautiful hit. It was beautiful and clean. It should have happened. There's a number of times where he cut the route off on the running back and he had to cut it back in. And there was a number of times where in the passing game, he understood and trusted what Tavai was doing and played his part. And even though he played in minimal snaps, I thought he did a phenomenal job. I know that there's some comments about him being a little rusty, but I didn't see the rust at all. I thought he came out there and just played a little bit safe so he wouldn't re-aggravate his injury, but rust was not on his mind.
Absolutely. And look, for him staying healthy was imperative, and it looks like he got through the game healthy, and that's very important, specifically with this high ankle sprain. You know how those can get re-injured fairly easy. Is JMO still back? Is he available to speak yet? No, he is not. Okay, so we'll go to CA3. CA3, what do you think of Jared Davis?
Oh, JMO. I thought Jared Davis played pretty well. I saw his impact. I saw the impact of his speed, and I like how sometimes he and I love that play that he made on Darren Sproles. I mean, but to me that's bad. I mean, that was a terrible call because that hit prevented Darren Sproles from catching the ball. I don't know why are they calling it a flag? Like when it was clearly a play on the ball. But
it was aggressive. That's what the problem was. It looked real violent. And that's what they was like. Oh God, that's not allowed in this game.
It made me get out of my chair when I seen it.
It was violent, but whatever. I mean, I like how Jared Davis played. But who's echoing?
I don't know. Who is echoing?
Gotta be JMO.
Okay, I muted JMO for now until he can get his stuff fixed.
But
man.
I thought he played well though. I like his his addition to the defense.
Can Christian cover a boog spray? He was that the linebacker that was getting beat like crazy, man?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was driving me nuts. I don't know what the plan for him was, but he definitely cannot cover.
The reason why I was mad about that is because they had the safeties weren't helping him. They just wanted him. They just had him isolated out there.
Yeah. Detroit Drew, how do you think Jared Davis played, and any other player on the linebacker position that stood out to you, whether it be good or bad?
He played pretty well. He's gonna get better. I don't know if he's still 100% or not. He didn't look like he had his full speed yet back to me. I'm not sure if his ankle's still swole a little bit or whatever, but that's going to come back in weeks. But rather than that, he played fine. We've been missing his present, and I think him and Tavai are going to play pretty good together. I like that combination. Tavai played very well today. I can't wait to see what this duo can do in the upcoming season.
Yeah, absolutely. Tavai, man, he was really getting it done. He had a lot of tackles in there, stopping for loss. I love what I see out of Tavai. This guy is just getting better and better, and for a second-round draft pick, and everyone gave him a lot of issue. He's done a fantastic job, TA. What do you think about the linebacker position, Derek Davis, or anyone else on there?
Man, I really love the addition of Jelani Tavai, because it made Jarris Davis step up his game today, and he was out there flying around and doing things. And with Jared Davis being back, man, Jelani Tavai get that chemistry together, man, them boys gonna be out there beasting, man. I definitely think we missed Davis in those last few games that we had, but now that we got him back, I think that it's going to be crucial going forth, man, that these guys get better together, man, out there on the field, and we got a chance to see those guys play, and that's something that I wanted to see, both of those guys out on the field being a competitor. And something about Jelani Tavai is the biggest thing is nobody knew who this kid was, and now he's out there flying around and making plays, and now you have to know who this guy is because you can't miss him. He's the guy that has the helmet on with the hair coming out the back. So you can't miss this guy.
It's funny you say that, because the guy that I put down, as I was watching the game and I was paying close attention, I pay attention to the small things, and I look at those techniques, and I put down the best defensive lineman out there was Ashawn Robertson, and he might have been the best defensive player out there playing that day. He left the crap out that pocket too many times up the middle that forced them to make some other moves. Ashawn Robertson showed up in a big way for us today, and it should be noted that he did that.
Was he the one who got the second pass deflection? Because I know Snacks got one. I don't remember who got the second one.
I think the second one was off of.
It was Keelan Strong, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it was like Strong's hands, but the pressure, what he was doing was he was pushing that center back to where the quarterback had to step out to the left or the right, and he couldn't set his feet to put his feet down to throw. That was huge in every way, and to me, I think what you see out of him was, even on the run, he just do the simple things like maintain outside shoulder so he can grab the player. Little things like that make a difference to me.
Mm-hmm. And here's a good question for anyone in here. Why was TJ Hockenson so quiet today? Anyone got a response for this question on the panel here?
Repeat that one more time. Why was TJ Hockenson so quiet today?
Yes.
Well, they was watching him the same way we was watching Zach Ertz. So they was using Malcolm Jenkins to spy him, and they wanted the quarterback to throw it to him so they can test the theory out to see if he can jump a few routes. And he did. But for the most part, TJ Hockenson was being blanketed. They was passing him off between the linebacker into the safety, and that's why you saw a quiet day from him. After everybody saw what he did that first game, we got to find a better way to scheme him open, and that's just the bottom line. Right now, teams are treating him like he's a all-time vet. They don't want him to be the reason that they get off, no more than we wanted Zach Ertz to be the reason that we got off. So,
and when it
those
comes
to things matter.
When it comes to TJ Hockenson, what we say in the offseason, if you double one player, there's somebody on offense that's going to be open. And players were open. Now, Stafford missed out on a couple throws, but there is no excuse for them to assume that they were not open. They were open. They were open, and that's what's going to continue to happen if you double team one of the players on the Lions here. So that's a good thing. Just because he's not getting a lot of plays via catching the ball doesn't mean he's not making an impact. He's definitely making an impact right now, and it's opening up for other people for sure.
Hit it right on the head there. We got so many weapons offensively that not one player should go back-to-back weeks having a big game. This offense is good enough to spread it throughout. I mean, look at week one. It was TJ and Danny Amendola. Then Galladay had a good game, and today was Marvin Jones's game. It's going to happen like that every other week. Not one player is going to have a breakout game like TJ did.
Absolutely, and that's a fantastic point. Now, least we can talk about Prater here. He made his field goals. I'm happy for the guy, man. I'm happy for the guy. He made his field goals. He had one blocked, but damn it, he finally got his field goals in there. Let's see here. Let's get some questions from the chat. Will the tie come back to haunt us? It could, but it can also come back to make us well as well. So a tie can be utilized good or bad. It just depends. Right now we are 2-0-1, so it's a good thing, but it definitely can come back to haunt us, and I'm glad we did not get another tie because I felt like the last couple of games we could be 0-3.
Yeah,
That's just the weirdest thing, man. Let's see here.
What else?
The O line is still troubling me by Dre Chili. It is when it comes to the run game, but the pass, it is not. I'm actually very happy. I mean, this is the most protection I've seen from Matthew Stafford in a long time.
Ever.
I've never seen it. The guy has
better with the pass,
what is it, 3 sacks on the season so far? In the last couple of games, 0. That is great stats. Great stats by the offensive line. And Luke G, I know other people were on other shows were stating the offensive line was bad. Explain to the folks why you disagree with that.
Because the thing about it is this. If you go through and you look at the offensive line for the last 2 weeks, Stafford has had very minimum pressure. I don't go by sacks as a way to know if he was under pressure. I go by, was he under pressure? You go back and look at the last 2 weeks pressure-wise, he wasn't under a lot of pressure. He had more than enough time. There were so many plays where if you were even counting in Mississippi's, you was getting well over 4 or 5 seconds. He had time to throw. And the crazy part about it is where they lacked that was in the run block. They needed to be better in opening up holes and gaps for the running backs. But in terms of the pass block, it's just simply not true. The offensive line as a whole has shown improvement from last year. And that's without even having a TJ Lane. They have shown improvement from last year, even including the game against the Cardinals. The pressure on the quarterback has been minimum, and that has been a huge difference for this team. So you shouldn't be concerned about the offensive line because the offensive line has lived up to the hype. You should be concerned about the special teams because every time we think we made it, here they come with some more stuff.
Folks, No Miss J just is in the building. No Miss J, what's going on, man? Yep.
Just coming back from the hospital from having a heart attack.
Okay.
Sorry to hear that.
No.
Oh, you talking about the game right now?
Yeah. Now, last week I wasn't worried, but today I was. I'm like, man, that blocked field goal had me. I'm like, I knew it was happening. I knew it.
So what's takeaways from the game, Nomis?
Takeaways from the game is this. The Lions do got a lot of tooling to do on all 3 phases of the ball. Definitely. It was good for Ad New today to have. I did not see that coming today. Dude had the 100-yard return, so that was good for him. You could tell he had been frustrated, so hopefully he could be consistent off that. That's why I say that much. But everything got to improve, man. They got a lot of tweaking to work out. Definitely. When I see tacklers, when I see linebackers take a hit on somebody, they got to bring them down. Carson Wentz still had times where he should have been sacked way sooner and kind of got a chance to escape. Got to clean up the tackles.
For sure. And we are flowing people in and out. And JMO, are you in the building now? Can you speak? No, you cannot speak. So I will go. TA, tell me, what was the thing that you saw in this game that gives you grave concern, or is there a grave concern?
The biggest concern, like I've already said, like so many times I talked about it, has been the offensive line. The offensive line did protect Stafford as far as with the passing ability to get him better looks out there. But we got to pull it together, man, where we're able to run block and pass block. We got to get it together, man. I think that's something is going to be a week-to-week thing with the Lions, getting better with being able to run the ball, because that's what we wanted to do. We want to run the ball, and we have not been able to run efficiently like we want to. And today we didn't use Ty Johnson like I thought that we would use Ty Johnson, but that's just this game. I think the next game he'll get more touches and more looks. But we just got to get better as far as bringing the line together to be able to do both good. It's not too many teams that can do both things good, but we needed to get it where we can at least be balanced with it.
We're not going to run the ball hardly at all next week after the first quarter.
Ooh, it's going to be a track meet.
You think so?
It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, it's going to be a track meet. So don't even wear your cleats next week.
We'll be down 14-21 to maybe 7. I'll give them 7. and it's
Yeah,
going to be a gunfight show.
I think y'all is totally missing the matchups. I feel really good.
That shouldn't be the game. The game plan should be what they did to New England last year: is to run the clock out, keep Mahomes on the sideline, and that's your best bet to win it. But can they do it? I don't think so because they haven't established the run game yet.
Well, I think the Lions still win this week against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I hope they do.
Why you say that, Luke?
Well,
Ain't nobody scared of Kansas City.
Whoa, that came out of nowhere. J-Mo, what up,
Man,
man?
ain't nobody scared of Kansas. No, man, y'all gotta realize they don't have a defense. How are they gonna beat us?
Thank you.
Our defense is great. Patrick Mahomes has not seen a defense as good as ours yet. Our defense is great. Right. He's not going to be able to score.
If you look at the matchup,
I wouldn't say our defense is great. I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm not saying great. I ain't saying that. But I'm saying if you look at the matchups where Kansas City, who they went against, they haven't won against nobody. Now, we went against some people with some injuries. But one of the things that I always paid attention to was I said the Lions will be able to establish themselves with their tight ends and their receiving core. Our secondary will slow down that receiving core of the Kansas City Chiefs.
We struggle with Kyler Murray.
I've been worried about TJ Hawkinson, but Kyler Murray is not. Patrick Mahomes isn't as fast as Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but once he gets out, we struggle with wins today.
His playmaking ability is better though.
He's going to get out Kyler Murray, extend the plays, and he's going to make something.
Man, y'all giving the Chiefs a little bit too much respect, bro. Like they are not unbeatable.
No, we're not saying that, J-Mo. We're not saying that.
That's how y'all say. That's how y'all say.
No, we're not. We're not. You're not listening
to us, man. You're not listening to us, J-Mo. One at a time.
Come on, man. Let me finish what I was saying anyway. But y'all been searching for TJ Hawkinson. They linebackers literally don't exist. They're gonna get torched all day and all night, and we gonna be able to run the football. Like I don't fear the Chiefs at all, but we gotta score at least 30 because Patrick Mahomes has never scored less than 26 in a game. We gonna have to score. But I think our defense is gonna slow them down. Like honestly, if they had Tyreek Hill, that would be different. But they don't.
What if we don't have Slay?
That's a whole lot of problems. But they don't got no cornerbacks either.
Have you watched their receivers? How good their receivers are?
I've watched every. Look, you talking to the biggest Mahomes fan probably on the channel. I watched.
Hold on. You talking to one of the guys that just watched mostly all the Kansas City games, and I just watched them. Their receivers are good, man. All of their receivers is good.
And is our secondary not good?
We better bring our track shoes. We better bring our
secondary not good. Our secondary
is okay. They okay, but they better. Okay? They okay, J-Mo.
What?
They okay.
What are you talking about?
They okay. Our defense is not all that.
The league in pass deflections, bro.
Our defense is not all that, bro.
I completely disagree. I don't know what you're talking about.
J-Mo, let me ask you a question. Where do you rank Jalen Ramsey and as the best corner in the league?
The best corner in the league.
Okay, where would you rank Jacksonville's secondary in the league?
Top 10.
Okay, week 1 against Jacksonville, he threw for 378 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. We're not Jacksonville.
Who was the quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes.
No, who is their quarterback?
What does that have to do with Jacksonville?
That's why they was able to score like that. They don't have a quarterback.
Okay, but their defense couldn't slow down Mahomes. How are we going to slow down him defensively?
Because we have linebackers, we have a defensive line, we have a good secondary. You run the football to slow these teams down.
Hey, I hope you're right, man. I don't see it.
No, man, like I said, y'all giving Kansas City a little bit too much credit.
Listen,
no, we're not giving them too much credit.
I mean, listen to what Georgia said.
No, I'm just saying Kansas City got some receivers.
Kansas City would lose the game.
Our secondary is
I don't share the view that J-Mo has. I think that it is a matchups issue, but I think that you have to be able to put the matchups in perspective. Our tight ends versus their linebackers, we win that matchup. Our offensive line versus their defensive line, it does not scare me. It doesn't. Where it's going to boil down to is our secondary being able to slow down the receivers of Kansas City. And we have to put pressure on Mahomes. To me, that's where it boils down to. Mahomes is going to try to kill us with Travis Kelce in that game. And I think the thing that we're missing, the biggest part is we're home. We're undefeated. The crowd is
Exactly.
going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
I hear you, Luke.
And
I
you
hear-
got
I
one
hear
thing
you.
you got to
I hear
remember.
you,
I
and J-Mo.
guarantee. Wait. So has Mahomes thrown a pick yet?
No.
He gonna throw one. He gonna throw one next game, guaranteed.
Well, I hope he
Yep.
does. I hope I want him.
Like
I
I
want him
don't,
to
like
do
I said,
that,
I don't
but-
fear Kansas City because I've been watching them. They can definitely be beat. They just haven't been challenged yet. They haven't
Right?
faced
Yeah, they
the
can be
top 10
beat. Any team
quarterback
can
yet.
be beat.
They
But
have
I'm just
not
saying, no,
faced a good
we just stating
quarterback
I'm just stating the facts because I did watch their receivers for the last couple of weeks, and their receivers are pretty good. Hardeman is good.
They are, but our secondary is pretty good.
We'll see. We'll see if we up for the challenge. We'll see.
Our secondary played 3 games. I don't understand y'all.
We'll see.
How are they not good?
We're not saying that he's not good. I'm just
You
saying.
said you said
No.
You're saying their receivers. I'm going by the
saying that
stats
Kansas.
and the
I'm saying
numbers.
that Kansas City's receivers are pretty good. That's what I'm saying.
And so is our secondary.
We'll see.
Did you see Rashawn Melvin? Did you see Rashawn Melvin on that last play?
I saw Rashawn Melvin.
Did you see our secondary
Kansas
last week?
City got some different type of receivers, man. Come on, man.
Have not faced a secondary as good as ours yet.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, like I said, y'all overrated. You proved my point.
No, they're not overrated.
It's gonna be a high scoring game, in my opinion. If I'm looking at it, it's in the 30s for sure. Kansas City has got weapons all over the place. Their defense is not that great. Lions has got weapons on offense. The defense is better, but is Matthew Stafford going to be on target? That will be the key, I think, when it comes to this game. But I think, the crowd's going to be insane, just like it was with the Philadelphia Eagles. They were loud, and that is on our side. We definitely have a chance. It's going to be a fun game. It's definitely going to be a fun game. But I think it all starts with the line of scrimmage. Who can win in the trenches? Can our defensive line put pressure on the quarterback? Can their defensive line do the same? And if our offensive line can hold Matthew Stafford in the last couple of weeks, it's shown that they can, then Stafford does have the time to get the ball out of his hands and wreck him with our offensive weapons. So we shall see. It's going to be an exciting game for sure. And a lot of eyes will be on the Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll just put it that way. I mean, it's 2-0-1 versus 3-0. It's going to be fun to watch.
All I'm saying is, when we win, I want my crow.
You'll get your respect.
Y'all overrating them, man. And I'm not disrespecting Kansas City.
No, we not.
Y'all sleeping on our secondary, man. Our secondary's played good for 3 straight weeks.
I'll give you $5 PayPal if we win.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I don't need money, man. I need the clout.
Hey, look, I'll take it, J-Mo. I'll take the money, man.
I personally think we have a chance to win if Stafford plays well and puts points on the board, and our defense just plays decent and gets some stops. I mean, I just think like if we play like we did against the Patriots last year, I mean, we can beat them. And we just got to establish the run.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Carry-on is due for a big game.
I'll tell you about the field.
Well, you better make sure you hit up every player on Twitter who on the offensive line and tell them that they need to go call up their mothers, get some hometown cooking or something, because they haven't been stepping up in the run blocking department. So, while I've been a big component before I even knew that Tyreek Hill was going to be out, I thought that we would beat that team just because we were home. I don't change my stance on it, but my views on how they beat the team is a little bit different than yours, J-Mo. But I do agree.
Yeah, I feel like TJ Hawkinson is really going to be giving them problems.
And I hope that be the case.
And it's about keeping Mahomes off the field and scoring points at the same time. And I think we can definitely do that. I think you guys are underestimating our defense a little bit, man.
And one thing that we got to watch out.
I don't think the defense has been underestimated. I think the defense are who many of us think we are, and they play that way. They need the defense. Let's just be honest. The defense didn't do their best job of getting to the quarterback the last 3 weeks, and it's been rough. And teams are still able to run the ball on us. So if Kansas City come in with the idea that they're going to beat us using Patrick Mahomes, we win. But if they get that run going, we need prayer because teams have shown that they can run on us.
How many yards did Philly rush for?
120 something.
We were
Okay.
definitely not doing the best we could when stopping the run. But their offensive line, Philadelphia's offensive line, is very good.
Yeah, and they two running backs is decent too. McCoy and
absolutely.
See,
Williams.
Philly played themselves. They should have used Jordan Howard more. We didn't have an answer for Jordan Howard. They just kept going with Miles Sanders for some reason. I'm like, good, leave him in. Because Jordan Howard was giving us hell. And I was like, here we go with this Jordan Howard stuff again. It's like we don't do well against Jordan Howard, but thank God Philly's head coach was confident in his rookie and kept the rookie in.
They've been doing
I do feel like
that the whole season.
Yeah, I do feel like our defense, man, if they didn't play as well as we did, they kind of saved us today, man. Because our offense playing to lose. That's what I'm gonna start calling it, man. I'm so sick of this running the football when our passing game is working, and then we go 3 and out.
What do you mean?
I mean, we had scored, and then we got the ball back, and we ran the ball 3 times and went 3 and out. And then they got the ball back. Luckily, our defense showed up and stopped them on 4th down. And then we got the ball back again, and we started doing that same stuff. And then we let Stafford loose for a couple plays, and then we the field goal got blocked after that, after the next drive. I'm tired of seeing that.
In my opinion, those runs were very good at instrumenting the setup for a bunch of other plays. I mean, if you think about the next drive after
I'm talking about in the 4th quarter.
I know. Those drives that they were doing was trying to kill the clock. That's that's what they were trying to do. It was about 2 minutes, I want to say, on the clock, 2 minutes, 18 seconds. So
get a first down.
Well, you got to get a first down, but you're also trying to get them to burn timeouts. And the first down does count in with that. But I think the biggest issue was, we're not able to close the game out with the run, but I'm not going to kill him for calling the run there. I'm going to kill him when he called a run with 5 minutes on the clock, trying to kill clock. Like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of football left.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Real talk. So, and it looks like the Packers win again. I think the Minnesota Vikings won. So we need to keep getting these W's in there. And so hopefully at Kansas City, we get that win. We definitely get that win.
We want the win, right? We want the win.
The Packers are so fluky right now, man. They not facing anybody, in my opinion. They facing a bunch of trash quarterbacks, man.
And that's good because we're playing our hard schedule right now, and we're 3-0-1, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy about that.
Hey, who
2-0-1?
Hey guys, who did the Packers play today? Because I know the game.
They played the Broncos.
They played the Broncos. Okay, because the Broncos was trying to come back too, right?
Yeah, the Broncos played them tough until Joe Flacco came. Remember who he was? He should have had one of those
trash quarterbacks
and be like, "Remember who you are."
Trash quarterback, bro. That's
his name is
cannot get it, man.
His name is Joe Flacco for a reason, man.
What happened to Darius Slay?
Hamstring injury, slight hamstring injury.
It's always a hamstring with this
hammy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, folks. I have been going on since 11:30 until now, and I'm starting to get a little bit tired. I want to watch some NFL Red Zone and relax and eat some dinner. So I'd like to give out the last words and talk about what's taking place because I'm old, man. I'm old and I'm getting tired. I've been doing this all day. So let's start with.
Hey, you did a phenomenal job, Mike.
Thanks, fellas. CA3, man. What do you got to say to the folks out there?
I mean. The Lions, they stayed undefeated, through the first 3 games. But my thing is, you got to play better, man. You got to take advantage of these scarred teams, man. I mean, I felt like we just squeezed by all 3 of these teams.
Preach.
Yeah,
I agree with you. We can't play like that in those divisional games and against teams like Kansas City. You got to play better.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Last time I said that, I got yelled at. Watch your mouth.
You got yelled at for saying we need to play back.
I feel like. Yeah. I feel like Matthew Stafford played garbage the whole game. I mean, except for 2 games.
2 games back
No, he don't try to put words in his mouth. He said this game.
Except for a couple. I mean, I feel like he played all right last game, but I feel like he played garbage today. I feel like he played even worse today because I felt like just a couple of those drives. I mean, he played well in a couple of those drives, but besides that, I mean, I wasn't really happy with his play because he missed a lot of throws. I feel like we need to play better. I mean, the stuff The good thing is that the stuff that we did do wrong is kind of correctable. But
Yeah.
and I expect Stafford to play better in the future. But we just gotta play better. But we're so far undefeated, and I can't complain.
Yeah, and Flynn, let me just answer this really quick, and then I'll get to the next folks. Do you think we improved an area from week 2 to week 3? I do believe we improved when it comes to play calling. I thought the play calling was really good on both offense and defense. There was none of that, prevent defense. We stayed fairly relative throughout the game, and that's something that I want to see. Detroit Drew, what do you got to say to the folks?
This team worries me about closing out.
Yeah.
I just, when you think we have an easy W, it doesn't turn out the way. They do something to screw it up. It worries me. It's not winning football. It's going to hurt you for if you're going for the NFC North Division title. It's going to hurt you there. You have to close these games out. You can't make everyone a close one, and it's going to hurt you in the wild card race if you can't win it. You have to win games. You have to win them convincingly. So, with that being said, enjoy this win because next week is going to be very, very rough for us. I look forward to seeing JMO eat his words, possibly Luke G too. We'll see. But thanks for having me on. Congrats to you, Mike, on 1K. You've earned it, my man. Keep up the hard work.
Oh, thank you, much appreciated. JMO, what do you got to say to the folks?
Philly fans, sit down and be humble in the Kendrick voice. I'm dropping a video on this. It's gonna be very raw. Prepare for all the curse words because Philly fans was really talking. They about to get it now. But I will say I did watch, I would say 60% of the game, and I'm gonna keep rolling what I've been saying every week. The defense is the strongest unit on this team, and we seem like we're winning games because of the defense. And the one game we should have won because of the offense, the defense, did what they did. But I'm glad they got those stops at the end of the game because we could have easily lost this, but they stayed resilient and they showed up. But the Eagles look kind of scared out there. They receivers was dropping passes. Nelson Aguilar was back to his old self from 2 years ago, just dropping pass after pass and fumbling and stuff. But it's good to get a win on the road. And I said I was gonna be mad if we didn't dominate this team, but Slade went out, so that's a little bit different. But the game was a little bit too close for comfort, though. And I don't like how Kerryon started off so well, and then we get predictable, and then he doesn't play well. The offensive line, if y'all guys don't start blocking, I might have to find y'all and teach y'all how to block myself. I just don't understand. But I do feel like later on in the season when we play some of the easier teams, that's when our schedule will come up. I'm really not impressed with Green Bay right now, or Minnesota, or Chicago. And I think next week we're going to surprise a lot of people because I don't think Mahomes is going to be able to do what he wants to do. Because you got to realize who Matt Patricia is, man. He's going to bring up those Patriot game tapes from both of the years, and he's going to scheme them up, and Mahomes is going to have a hard time. He definitely will score points. We know this, but I think we can win in the shootout because I just don't trust their defense at all. Like, I don't trust their defense. I feel like they haven't faced a great quarterback yet. I love Lamar Jackson. Y'all know how much I love Lamar, but he can't throw the ball like Stafford. So, and Stafford, Luke says the numbers don't tell the story. I looked at the numbers. They let me know he didn't play. I'm just saying. Like, I looked at it, and he was like, what? He was like 15 or 32 or something like that. I'm like, oh, yeah, what was this dude doing? Oh, but he played well in the first half, though. I don't know what happened in that second half.
How did he play? Go ahead. I'm so tired of proving you wrong. It ain't even fun no more,
man. And I really love Stafford pocket presence this year, man, because he was dancing out there. Like, and usually he would take some sacks, but he wasn't taking them. And I like his pocket presence. It's very nice, man.
Hey, I want to say thank you to Deshaun Tisdale and on all the Eagles fans that was on the stream today for me now and here. You guys were all super respectable to me and to the Lions fans. Let me take that ball from JMO. Do a
hold on, Mike. Hold on one second.
On my channel, they were very, very good. Let me take that ball in a lateral pass to TA, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We appreciate everybody for rocking out with us on today. Wonderful show, man. Shout out to Mike for getting up to 1K. We appreciate you guys for getting him there. Also, make sure you subscribe to 313 JMO, Luke G, CA3 Sports Talk, Detroit Drew. all of the members, the Big Take, Positively Detroit, No Miss J. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Definitely, man. It was a game on today that it was a must win for us, because when you got a tie on your resume, you want to go out there and get a victory, and that's what the Lions did. And the thing that I have been saying about the Lions is that they don't know how to close out games, and today they finally propelled themselves to a victory and closed out the game, even though it was scary and it left everybody on edge all day, because the Lions never can seem to just put their feet on the gas pedal, put their foot on the gas pedal. And once they learn how to do that, man, I think that we'll be more comfortable in going out there and getting the wins. Now, next week against the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm a realist on this, guys. Kansas City do have some receivers that are pretty good, and we have to come prepared. It's going to be a track meet, so we got to be ready to prepare. If we can pressure Pat Mahomes and kind of get him rattled a little bit, I think we stand a chance. But if we can't, and we just let him sit comfortably back there, he's going to pick us apart, because he is one of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League, and that's no joke.
Absolutely. Detroit Drew, did I get to you yet? I am very tired, so I cannot remember.
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, I'm going to throw it to Luke G right now. What do you got to say to the folks?
Hey, we're not going to talk about that Kansas City game. I'll say that for a video. Let's get right into it. First of all, congratulations on 1,000, Mike. Man, so happy for you that you got that 1,000. I know you're going to be at 2,000 real quick, and I hope you pass me with flying colors.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you pay attention to the media over the next few hours as it pertains to this game. It's going to be more about what the Eagles didn't do versus what the Lions did. Keep a close eye on that. Thirdly, let me leave you with a good piece of word. The definition of a champion is knowing how to beat your number one competition, yourself. There will be nobody bigger or greater than bringing you down than yourself. And if you learn how to defeat yourself, you will always win every battle. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please subscribe to the DSA.
Folks, I appreciate you guys sticking with me through the whole day, man. 11:30 till now. It's been a crazy game. I lost my voice. I'm a little tired, and I appreciate everyone sticking with. And we got that W, man. 2-0-1. Let's take the victory. This is something, as Lions fans last year, we didn't see a whole lot of them, and so it's nice to get a W. So let's just be happy about what we got, folks. There's things to correct, and that's always a good thing. We got a big game next week, but let's just enjoy this win right now. Let's enjoy it. Folks, more videos will be dropped for myself every single day, as well as the rest of the DSA, so get ready. There's going to be a lot of information dropped and a lot of content for you to view. With that said, folks, adios.